Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend and brother, Robert W. Jojo Hill, the servant, the artist, and the author. All right, guys, let me go ahead and just jump on into this one tonight. All right, guys, I did a show yesterday, and I was dealing with the whole release of Marvel's Black Panther, which I absolutely cannot wait to check out this film. Now, what I had in my comment section, a lot of people were talking about, you know, the Black Panther movement, movie and how great it was for black people. There were so many black people in the movie, and they were so many people that's going to be getting checks as black. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm all with that. Get that bread. And I did say that bread. Absolutely get that money. Now, here's the problem with that, guys. I don't want us to confuse activity with progress. I don't want us to confuse activity with progress. Just because we're being extremely active does not mean that we're being progressive, not as a group. What we have to think about is group economics. Now, that statement, just to even say it sometimes, is very fumbleish because that's not something that we were taught. We were taught stuff like, he did that. We was taught that. We was taught the, the regular stuff. But here's the problem, guys. As a group, we're not benefiting from this movie as a collective. I talked about it in the other show. This is not a black film. This is not a black film. This is an others film. This is not a black film. There's a lot of black people in it. And of course, black people got checks and people got that bread. I'm all for that. Get that loot. But here's the problem. When you have a culture that systemically has conditioned us to not think in terms of group economics, it becomes a lot of people that are maybe getting independent money, but it's not anything as it relates to the group. People say, well, we should be proud because it was the first black superhero. I mean, I get that. I understand that. I follow what you're saying, and I do support that to a very specific degree. Here's the issue for me, though. The issue for me is when we're participating in this with the thought that this stuff has created some type of progress for us as a group. We still don't own the theaters. We still don't own the companies. We don't own the studios. We don't own the scripts. We're not doing CGI. We're not doing the editing. We're not doing any of that stuff. But we're out there and we're doing it. Dr. Claude Anderson said something that was very powerful in his book, Black Labor and White Wealth. He said that Christopher Columbus came to the new world, or the new, whatever the crap he called it, lost dude out there, I don't know what the crap he's looking for. He stumbled across this land looking for gold, but what he got in trade, he got people, he got the resources, he got human resources. He got human resources. I want you to really consider that. A company has an area that is specifically designated for human resources. I want you to really think about that statement. What Dr. Anderson was speaking about, he says when Christopher Columbus supposedly discovered America, he got here in search of gold because they needed gold for coins and stuff like that because it had this value. But instead, he was like, hey, wait a minute. We got people. If we can get these people to till this land, to work this land, then we'll get the wealth because the wealth is in the people. The wealth is actually in the people. And as a group, black people have not done that. We have not done that. We haven't been taught that. We haven't been trained in that. So we get this illusion of progress because of activity. You say, okay, Jojo, what in the world is the activity? Well, the activity is, well, we got all these people in this film, so it's got to be a black movie. No, it's not a black movie at all. The characters are not ours. You got to understand this. This is very, very, very powerful. So in connection with that, I want you to begin to examine what we do as a group in terms of economic movement, economic growth and development. What are we doing? We do know that we have collectively enough resources with our community that if we pooled our money together, which is going to be very difficult, I already understand that. It may take us another 600 years to even get this crap figured out, and I'm aware of it. I'm not in the dark. But if we did, in fact, do that, do you realize that we would have more money than most of the countries in this world? We would probably be the 8th or the 9th richest country if we just pooled our resources together, because that's how much money we spend. We spend that much. Doggone it. Shoot. Our women spend between, 10 to 15 billion dollars a year on just hair weave. Do y'all understand that? But now, who are we spending this money with? We're not spending this money with, ain't spending with our people. We spend to the Asian people. We spend to other cultures Indian people, whatever the crap it is, because we just gotta have that quacky yacky. We got to have it. But they're not bringing that stuff into our community because they're interested in trading with us in terms of building our culture from a wealthy perspective. Black people as a group spend all this money with other cultures to build every other culture, but it's not ours. Tell me one time that you guys have seen a pack of Asian people come to a black store to patronize it. You haven't. You don't see that because we do that for them. We send their kids to college. We send their kids to mansions and go send them to become doctors and all this stuff. They ain't doing that with us. They keep that bread right to themselves. So as a group, because I heard a lot of people talking about, well, it's a lot of black people that got money, they got checks. I mean, and I agree with you, and I'm not disputing that. The problem is, what is that doing for the culture in terms of group economics? It's really not shifting the group. It's really not designed. It's not doing that. So if you don't understand that this requires certain things in order for that to happen, in terms of shifting the group dynamics, of moving it as a group, this is where the power is. The power is in that. So I have a limited celebration in the Black Panther piece. I mean, I'm definitely going to go to see it. Man, you got to be kidding. I can't wait to see it. I wish it was playing right now. I probably would still be over there. But here's the problem. I know that the movie's going to be great. Just as Spider-Man was great. I knew it was going to be great just like X-Men were great. Marvel just makes better films. I just get it. That's just what they do. But I'm not under the illusion that because of the Black Panther movie that has somehow moved us as a group economically. It hasn't moved us economically. It does not. It's not going to move us politically. It just doesn't. It's not moving us from the standpoint of any type of political anything. It's not doing any of that. It's just entertainment. So it's going to be people out there that get their bread, and I want all those actors. I hope they paid y'all triple scale. I hope they paid y'all more than anybody else that they ever have. But even with that, it hasn't moved us as a group, and it's not moving us as a group. So I just don't want us to be confused with that. I don't want us to confuse the fact that this movie has all black people in it, or primarily black people in it, in a culture that looks and reflects like what we're supposedly, where we came from and all that stuff. That's all fantastic. That's wonderful. I really wish the spot was real with all this incredible wealth, because in the movie, as a culture, they were a wealthy culture. That ain't true outside of that doggone movie. So I have limited enthusiasm with that. So what you have to keep in mind is when folks were initially released or supposedly released from slavery 200 some years ago, black people had and occupied and maintained about 1/2 of this nation's wealth. 1/2. Now we flash forward to 2018. We have more millionaires, more billionaires, more people that are upper middle class, rich people, blah, 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 all that. With all of that wealth and all of that money and all those riches and all these people that's really got that bread, please ask me, how much of a percentage of this nation's wealth do we still occupy today? We still have less than 1%. After all these years, we have not moved one single iota as a group in terms of occupying wealth. We haven't gotten it. So don't get it confused because we see this movie and we get all happy. Oh, we did it. We did it. Man, we ain't did a doggone thing. Stop getting this crap twisted, because y'all don't want you to mix this crap up. Don't mix up the concept of progression with progress, or activity with progress is what I should say. Don't get them craps mixed up. Don't. They're not the same thing. We can have a whole bunch of people doing a whole bunch of stuff, and it looks good, and you sound smart to somebody stupid. But my eyes is wide freaking open, man. No. Now, with all that being said, prepare yourself to go over there and check out that Black Panther movie, because I think it's going to be dope. I can't wait to go and see it. I'm already getting my outfit ready. You got to be kidding me. So, with all that stuff... All right, y'all, I ain't fooling with y'all no more tonight. That is it. This is your friend and brother, Robert W. JoJo Hill, serving the artist and the author. I want you guys to be encouraged, be empowered. Most of all, guys, come on, say it with me, man. Be enlightened. The servant has spoken. I'm out.